What's up YouTube? Today's deck is a very unique combo deck that is centered around generating a bunch of 3-cost spells that are completely OP and then tutoring them, like drawing them specifically through cards like Zap, Sprayfin or Scattered Pot. Before I start, let me tell you right away that the idea comes from the current LOR world champion Alanzq. If you didn't check his stream or his YouTube out, go there. What are you doing with your life? But yeah, let's continue with taking a look on how this deck works. So it's basically a Marai Greatmother build around, right? Once you play her, once you summon her rather, you create a bunch of strong spells that cost 3 or less in your deck. The problem is usually it takes forever to draw these spells, and that's where, of course, like I said, cards like Zap, Sprayfin, Deep Meditation and Scattered Pot help out. You might have noticed we're not playing a lot of spells in general, and we only have one copy of a spell that costs 3 or less. And that's very important. Tidal Wave, as we all know, is very weak in its base form, deal 1 to 2 differently randomly targeted enemies. In its second form is already quite decent, 2 to 4 enemies. And then Colossal Wave can often be a game ender, or at least flip the state of the game, deal 4 to all enemies and the enemy nexus, especially if that is doubled by karma. So the core strategy of the deck is this: we look very hard for Zap, Sprayfin mainly, and ideally also for Marai Greatmother. In the perfect world, we play Greatmother on 4, we play Zap on 5, we already get one of the very strong spells at the discounted cost, and we either continue with more Zaps or Deep Med, or Scattered Pot Ring is slow speed spell. But even if we don't find the Greatmother, we can either find, like, keep Tidal Wave in our opening hand, find the second one, the Crashing Wave, or even already the Colossal Waves with Zap Sprayfins, or Scattered Pot at slow speed always draws whichever wave you currently have in your deck. It's the only slow speed spell in the deck. Unless you already played Marai Greatmother before, then you might have some slow speed spells that are even stronger. You don't know that in advance, but picking slow speed spells is usually going to be a very good option. And with that in mind, I'll just explain the rest of the deck real quick. Most of them are just early units and stalling tools. Board control, Marai Warden supplies chump blockers, hired gun, board control, maybe take out an important target on your opponent's side. A lot of draw in River Shaper and Shadow Assassin, some lifesteal, basically just a bunch of efficient units. Twisted Fate barely ever levels in this deck, but he is very flexible either as a gold card against something like Sion, as a red card just for board clear, or if you really need draw, yeah, for sure, just blue card, and even Twisted Fate's pick a card can be useful. So Zap and Scattered Pot I already mentioned, they're some of your key cards in the whole deck to get to your power spikes, to get to the big spells. Karma is kind of self-explanatory as well. One thing to keep in mind is that if you cast one of the waves, whichever form it is, once Karma is leveled and on the board, you also shuffle multiple copies of that spell, and that means it's more likely, for example, if you double cast a Crashing Wave, it's more likely that your Deep Med will then draw a Colossal Wave, or you might even draw multiple copies of it. And looking at the spells I already mentioned, we only want to play one slow speed spell and only one spell that costs 3 or less to always draw something useful off of Zap and Scattered Pot. The rest, stalling and protective spells, right? Concussive Palm, great against Sion, anything big with Overwhelm in the current meta. We have One Deny to potentially protect Karma or stop something big from our opponent. We have Monster Harpoon. Plunder is not that easy to enable in this list, but it still hits a lot in the meta, right? The Darkness champions, it can hit Poppy, it can hit Lulu, whatever you currently need to get rid of. And the only consistent enablers for Harpoon are usually your Elusives or a Twisted Fate red card. Now with this deck, the mulligans are very important and also very matchup dependent. You usually need to decide early on, do I have time to go for Greatmother first and then try to find those spells? Or am I up against a faster deck and do I maybe need to get a Turbo, Tidal Wave, Crushing Wave, Colossal Wave? Most of the time you will be looking for these 3 cards in the mulligan to get your own game plan rolling, right? Tidal Wave, Marai Greatmother, Zap, Sprayfin. Then against aggro decks, I would usually also keep early units. I'd consider keeping Hasty Faithfolk. Sometimes you really need Concussive Palm against some big hitter, maybe if you're playing against Lee Sin. And sometimes, for example, against Darkness, you really want Harpoon, you really want that targeted removal. But whenever you're up against a slower deck or a control deck that doesn't try to close out the game quickly, I would be much greedier with the mulligan and look for Tidal Wave, Greatmother Zap, maybe even a Scattered Pot if the rest of your hand is already good. So I'll say right away, this deck is insanely fun. It makes for some great RNG moments. It's very complex though. It's not easy to play. So take your time. Be creative with all of the lines of play that you have available to you, and always keep in mind which win condition you're currently going for. If you're going for Greatmother spells, or if you're going for Colossal Waves, or if you're just trying to stall the early game against an aggro deck, sometimes you don't even need the big spells to close out the game. And yeah, if you need some more encouragement, here are some pretty sick gameplay examples that I had on my own stream. Feel free to check them out. Enjoy the deck.
Is it the mustache? Who knows?
And Senna and so on. And Poppy. Alright, bring it on. Faithfolk might have to be a keep, to be honest. Oh, it feels really bad though. I don't really want to keep a Faithfolk. Or to redeem a deck here review, it has to be a Mobalytics link. Any link is fine as long as it's visual. What would be a reason to be on Sunburst rather than Minimorph? The reason is you don't have to deal with a 3-3. Minimorph is much more of a tempo loss.
Within the flows of magic.
Gotta go with the flow.
Got access neat systems.
Not going for the Shaper. Looks somewhat questionable. But I shall not complain. Shaper can draw us palms and the other waves, which would be great hits. Then we have 1 Deny It, 2 Deep Mats, 3 Harpoons left, which are subpar, but acceptable. That the slick emote is not a follower emote. How do you make it a follower emote though? That's the Panda deck. That's just the Alan deck. Alanzq. Tutor the second wave. Alan come up with it first or swim? That I actually don't know. Alan for sure already played it a lot. We're playing this much burn. That sucks.
Water changes but never breaks.
With the hand I have, I could try to go for a TF flip. I'd really like to find the deny. So TF might die here. I got a palm right now to get the blocker, otherwise my opponent gets more chances of suiciding Sion. Oh, this is so good for me.
Sweep them away. Engulf them.
Gotta trust your instincts.
Face me.
Lamb to the slaughter.
A gift from the river folk. Water is what form the waters take.
What about taking out Sion right now? Don't think it's necessary. I'm making it look like I'm keeping Karma open. I think I just click end round here, TF flips. I do overdraw one, but that's no problem. My opponent also overdraws.
Looks like I'm on a hot streak.
It's too late for you.
No point in Phantom blocking because I don't survive a rally anyway. Sorry, I don't survive and the Sion hit anyway.
Now we're cooking.
Going for that overwhelm hit. Or not? Do I care? I'll just take care of him later, right? With like, once red card's played. I guess survival skills could suck.
I've never met anyone like you.
Who says I don't share?
Look, a thing.
Not the scattered pod. If I play another card, he rallies, which I want to avoid. Now I don't care about rallying anymore, right? The only question is, does he play survival skills or not? Oh no, wait, gold card hits Sion first and the thing gets removed. Why is this not happening? Why are you surviving? Oh, because gold cards. It just doesn't check the eye, right? Oh, it's already stunned, right? Maybe I should palm the Sion returned then. Like, Harpoon loses to survival skills. And I don't think we saw one yet. Oh, it's open attack lethal anyway. I'm just now realizing. Looking for burn lethal, maybe? GG! Taking out the top ladder deck.
Gift from the river folk.
And one of the top ladder players as well. Gouda Daddy was rank 1 for a long time. People playing Lee Akshan. That's a hot take. It's pretty good against me though. What a waste of an attune.
Respect the ocean and all its boons.
I wonder if Scattered Pod is actually a keep if we already have Greatmother in like a slow matchup like this. Interesting. Opponent is probably running some amount of Nopifies. Ooh, I could keep Tidal Wave till turn 10 to double cast it with Karma. It might have been a bit preemptive. But it almost also have these spells Nopified rather than... Oh, Retreat. Interesting. Could full swing plus harpoon.
We swim within the flows of magic.
Alright, Mexican standoff it is. Wall staring at wall. The other way of doing this would be like red card, keep harpoon open. But I don't think I care yet about my opponent potentially playing Lee Sin this round. And they also kind of want a blue card right now.
We'll see which one of us is stronger, Akshan.
Have we met?
Okay, one deny out. I need to find palms though. And that's a draw shutdown, that sucks.
The world, one scoundrel at a time. In and out.
Draw them blind.
Waters are still.
Finally a balanced card. 6 mana was way too weak. Looks like blue card though.
Never lost a fair game. Or played one. Don't get in.
Looks good to me. Will the kick still go off if the Lee Sin got morphed? It should. I can morph as soon as he gets played. Then again, no, I'm waiting for my opponent to invest resources, right? Can't give spell shields.
Wipe it off.
You are unwelcome.
Harpoon looks fine. It also shuts down Akshan's grappling hook, which is his only way of removing karma right now.
Ionia speaks through me.
Scattered pod. Probably aloof traveler protection. It's really good for him here though.
I fight with my spirits, not my fists.
The answer lies within.
Strongest ally, yeah, no thank you. Wait, that's a sick top deck though. Either Great Mommy card or Waves. Only question is, do we play this first to ensure River Shaper hits as well? Don't think so. Sky's Descent! List has synergy with the Sand Solar spell. Yes, but our strongest ally will hit, so we don't want to send Karma into the fray, right? Even if we attack Eye of the Dragon, like our opponent plays whatever it's called. Wait, this dodged everything? Damn.
Conflict is all in the mind.
Can't really contest the Lee right now.
Gotta trust your instincts.
8 sand soldiers getting obliterated. Damn. This isn't very easy to play. I wish we had like, if we had a scattered pot on board, then we could take care of Lee quite easily. Lee still gets the barrier, so there's no point pulling to the left. One issue is I might lose karma here. He puts Lee on the stack, I mini-morph. I think the kick still goes through. Double list kills Lee. Ooh, that's actually true. Karma and then the next biggest. But then we would lose karma and TF. And I would have had to pull somewhere else. Interesting. Wait, no single list kills Lee. He probably has shaped stones though, doesn't he? And TF is at 5. Actually, I can play hired gun first.
Who's on top of the bounty board today?
The issue is he can give champion spell shield, right? So I can stun Lee, but I can't mini-morph.
I shoot.
Okay, no shaped stone in hand. He can always just revive Lee though, but then he can't spell shield.
Only I can endure the dragon's fury.
I just need to find some draw card and we're fine. Or another karma, right? Although karma is prone to breaking. Does he play 3 denies? Probably. I still like stun more though. Minimorph gets punished quite hard by another Lee. Wait, how does River Shaper work again with barriers? He still draws, right? Should, right? He strikes.
You're in over your head.
Damn. Yeah, I probably should have full swung. Well, let's draw. Burst speed spell, and then Karma can deep med. Oh, he doesn't know what's about to hit him. Second Absolver almost kills me though. Stand United here is quite spicy actually. Can I stand United to block the elusive? You know what? That's a really good question. I have no idea. That would have been a really good play because then we get River Shaper back into our hand. Sorry, not River Shaper, I mean Tail of the Dragon. Then we have an extra concussive palm if opponent finds more Lee Sins. And we could have blocked the elusive.
We'll bring peace to Ionia, whatever the cost. Good people don't look the other way.
This should be a classic goodbye moment. Homecoming?
Looks like I'm ready. Bye-bye. You're in over your head. Sweep them away.
You're strange. Who are you?
Another homecoming? I think that's the only way of saving him. Nope. All good. Palm works as well, of course.
What form will the waters take?
Oh, do you survive the next Colossal Wave though?
Don't want to die? Don't do terrible things. Ionia speaks through me.
I mean, I would beat the Knight plus Absolver. I can probably just cast Colossal Wave, but this is a bit funnier. And this deck actually has like infinite skill cap. I feel like I played fine. Like I think I played well, but I could have played much better and had more, much more control over this game. But of course, also infinite amounts of RNG in this. Trying to get that Lee Sin. Nice try. GG. Oh, it'll be pod, not Lee Sin. That's absolutely true. I mean, we were a bit fortunate that our opponent only found one Lee and took a long time, but this was quite a grindy and fun game.